All right. Well, hello, everybody. We want to welcome everybody out to the call tonight. We're going to go ahead and get started tonight. My name is James Grant. I'm the Director of Sales for Q Sciences, and we have been waiting for this particular product to come out, and it was just released this week, and we all cheered, and we all passed around the boxes as they were pulled out, and we're just thrilled to have them now as part of the offerings of Q Sciences amongst all the products that they have. And I know that we'll talk about how Q Sciences products pop, and we'll let Dr. Kimberley talk a little bit about what pop means and how that applies to this new product. And so we're just thrilled to have you guys on the call tonight. Tonight we will be talking about Q Essentials caffeine-free. So we've had the Q Essentials before, and this one is just released as a caffeine-free version, and we're just thrilled to be able to provide that. And I'll share my experience a little bit at the end of the call, what's my own personal experience that's happened with the new Q Essentials caffeine-free. So without taking up any more time, I do want to introduce Dr. Kimberley. Dr. Kimberley, as you guys all know it, one of the most famous websites out there when it comes to the medical industry. A lot of us have already typed in questions to WebMD. We have all heard that one, and Dr. Kimberley is a senior editor and it's his staff that is working with that to answer those questions when people put them in. And so, people look to him for his knowledge and his expertise. And again, we are just so thrilled to have him as part of our, in fact, leading our advisory board and the scientific and studies and making sure that these products are truly the best products out on the market. And so, Dr. Kimberley, we appreciate your time tonight, and I'm going to turn the call over to you so you can share with us how the differences are between the Q Essentials that we've had as well as the Q Essentials with caffeine-free, and tell us a little bit, share with us why we want to be taking the Q Essentials product as a whole. So, Dr. Kimberley, it's all yours.
Thank you, James. I have been waiting also a long time for this day to come, and I'm just so excited that we have this great product, which I've worked on, more or less for over 30 years to fine tune. And most of you probably don't know that when Darren and Mark and Jimmy and I first met, it was this particular product, the Q Vitals component of Q Essentials, that I sold them on. That I said, this product is going to be a blockbuster. It's going to help so many people, and they believe me. And everybody who has taken the Q Essentials with caffeine knows that this is a powerful product. Now, the only difference between the Q Vitals regular and the Q Vitals caffeine-free is the absence of caffeine in the Q Vitals component. Now, those are the 5 herb capsules that you take that are in the morning and afternoon packs, 3 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. And I think we might have been able to get 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. And they're kind of a tan color, just so you know which ones they are. And now, these are scientifically formulated using a combination of 10 potent herbs and additional amino acids and other micronutrients that are designed to optimally enhance energy levels and stamina while having many benefits to literally every organ system in the body, especially when taken with the rest of Q Essentials. So they're designed to work together. Now, I made formulas specifically for men and women because men and women are different. We have different energetic and hormonal needs, and this is the way to do it because a certain herb for a man is going to work differently than it is for a woman, and that's the reasoning there. Now, just to let you know, we know from traditional herbal medicine that taking one herb, no matter how wonderful, is not as good as taking a carefully crafted combination. And I'll give you an example of that. Say you discover ginseng, and you start taking ginseng every day because you read all this great stuff about it. Well, in a month or two, you're going to find that your energy's low, you're chronically tired, and that's because that strong Chinese ginseng caused a depletion of your adrenal glands, and that's not good. And that's just one example of what can happen. Now I'm going to tell you how the new caffeine-free Q Vitals can strengthen, purify, optimize, and protect your body. Now, when we talk about purify, N-acetylcysteine, which was the prime amino acid component along with tyrosine in Q Vitals, is the most powerful detoxifying system, supports the most powerful detoxifying system in your liver, and we know how important that is. And regular use has been shown to treat everything from, hepatitis C to doctors use it intravenously to treat overdoses of Tylenol, and because it just absolutely detoxifies the liver, and that's really important. And we included quercetin, which is a bioflavonoid, which also helps to purify the body. It cleans up debris. It cleans up viruses and bacteria that are harmful. And in addition, there's several herb ingredients that also help to purify the body by enhancing the function of the kidneys, the liver, and the intestinal tract. Now, how do the new Q Vitals optimize? Well, the 8 adaptogenic herbs, and by adaptogens we mean herbs that strengthen the body, that allow the body to accept changes, stress, everything that drains us during the day, pollution, etc., and shake those off. And when you take Q Vitals or the rest of Q Essentials, you'll find that all your cells and every aspect of your health will improve, and not just improve immediately or shortly after starting, but will show long-term benefits that don't go away, as with the ginseng example I just gave you. And the reason that happens is because the herb ingredients are selected and balanced in very precise doses to improve mood and reduce stress levels, in addition to improving overall physical health. And by that I mean, I've had the benefit of seeing how herbs and other micronutrients work with people. Patients, thousands of patients, watching how they react to this herb or that herb in particular. And over the years, I've observed that combining certain herbs has a much greater effect, a synergistic effect, if you will, than just taking a random amount of herbs or herbs with random doses. Now, I'll give you an example. If you take Selexium, which is the premier herb in our new caffeine-free Q Vitals, and you take it alone, you will benefit, and you will benefit long term. But if you mix it with the other herbs in caffeine-free Q Vitals, amazing thing happens. You have no side effects, and your stamina, your energy levels go through the roof. stress levels go down, anxiety levels go down, because you really, your cortisol levels are being reduced, and all the neurotransmitters in the brain are being increased, and that is a big factor. Now, several of these herbs are such powerful adaptogens, just to give you an example, that when they do testing on lab animals to test them for stamina, they find that rhodiola, for example, Siberian ginseng, which is very different from Chinese ginseng, increase stamina by up to 50%. And when you combine them all together, well, then you've really got something. Now, how do the new Q Vitals protect? Well, first of all, reducing cortisol levels protects you from the damaging effects of stress. We know what stress does to your heart. We know what it does to your brain, the rest of your body. It's not good. And Siberian ginseng and rhodiola, in addition to Selexium and the other herbs, ashwagandha, really help to lower cortisol levels, which is great. You get up in the morning, those cortisol levels start rising, you start feeling stressed and anxious, and if you've taken your Q-Essentials, you don't get that so much, and that's very important because it reduces the risk for heart disease, stroke, and other chronic stress-related diseases. Siberian ginseng, for example, has been shown to reduce the risk for type 2 diabetes. It's very important. Now, energy is the great need of this modern age. If we have enough energy, and we can do anything. We can do our job, and we can come home at night, and we can still have energy to spend time with our families. And that's a very valuable commodity. And caffeine-free Q Vitals and regular Q Vitals as parts of the Q Essentials package are designed to deliver that kind of energy and stamina. And that's where you've got something truly valuable to the individual. They promote a higher level functioning of the body, mind, and spirit. And I mean spirit because you feel it throughout your being. It's really true. And there's so much research on each of these herbs individually. And my research has been finding out how to combine these so that you get the perfect combination for peak functionality. Q Vitals differs from other wellness formulas. I mean, you go to the health food store and you'll see lots of formulas that talk about wellness. I'm there every day because I'm always checking out the competition or always seeing whether somebody's going to come up with a new idea, and it never happens. And most of the wellness formulas are really very shallow and unimaginative. And the ingredients are given in just minute amounts. So you might have 40 ingredients, and they're in subtherapeutic or homeopathic amounts. And that means that the Q Vitals contain hundreds of milligrams of each ingredient as opposed to a few milligrams. That's why it takes 4 or 5 capsules for the full dosage. And the body responds to a therapeutic dose in a way that's like flipping a switch. And it's a very precise process. If you have too little of each ingredient or the wrong ingredients or too much of one particular ingredient, that switch never seems to flip and you just don't get the results that you want. These are designed to deliver energy as it is needed and avoid overstimulation that can lead to depletion. harsh stimulants, energy drinks, ephedrine, too much caffeine throughout the day can really devitalize and deplete the body of energy. It's better to have something that gives you a calm demeanor and provides you with the deep energy reserves that you need to go through life. And this is a sustained toning, which really increases stamina and allows the body to recharge as it's needed. And as you feel better, as your energy is better, you eat less junk food. You don't get arguments at home. Things improve throughout your life. You feel like exercising. You feel like eating the right foods, and that's very important. The amino acids in Q Vitals are really important. I've already gone over N-acetylcysteine, and the tyrosine is a very important component. It's been shown to decrease stress, increase energy levels, focus, and alertness. Now, this is an area, too, where, these formulas really protect your body. And one of the areas that's a concern for everyone these days is deterioration of the brain. Dementia, loss of memory, not being able to concentrate and focus. These are very important issues. And the combination of herbs and amino acids really keeps your brain firing because the neurotransmitter levels are high, adrenaline, dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine. When all those transmitter chemicals are high in the brain, and the brain's constantly, in a state of superior health, and the synapses are firing, with regularity. And quercetin is also a free radical oxidation reducer, so that really helps protect not only cells in the brain but the liver throughout the body. And another benefit is that healthy collagen is being increased, and that's really important. Now, I'm going to go through the men's formula, which contains ashwagandha root, and this is really excellent for healthy sexuality in men. It has a nice calming effect, a mood-boosting effect, yet it still strengthens the body. Fochi Chen is a very grounding herb that also has been likened to the ginsengs and revered for thousands of years in China for its long-term benefits with regular use. Damiana, again, an excellent tonic, something that has a calming effect, reduces cortisol very nicely, and again supports healthy sexuality. Eleutheru, which is Siberian ginseng, is a fantastic anti-stressor, which I've already talked about. Suma is a Amazonian herb that has been revered there for its general benefits to health and healthy function, sexuality, energy levels, etc. Now, rhodiola is far better than Chinese ginseng in terms of increasing the levels of neurotransmitters in the brain. And it is a wonderful herb, very well tolerated. Tribulus terrestis is a great herb for men. And the real star of the show, in my opinion, is Selexium tortuosum. And this is also called Kana. And this is an herb from South Africa that has been used by tribes in South Africa for thousands of years. And in these tribes, almost everyone in the tribe eats the herb every day, just like we drink tea or coffee. And researchers have found that these tribes are incredibly healthy, and they have a longer life expectancy, and they seem to be just healthier than other tribes who do not have this traditional use of this wonderful herb. Now, it works in two different ways. It increases nitric oxide in the blood, which dilates your blood vessels, and it also increases the levels of neurotransmitters so powerfully that there are clinical studies showing that it is better than prescription antidepressants. Now, just to show you how much the Q Sciences team supports me in my choices, when I told them I really wanted to use this herb in the caffeine-free, but because this makes up for the absence of caffeine by itself. And we found out it was $4,000 a kilo. And I thought, wow, that's too much. And they said, no, whatever you feel is indicated, we will get. And so that gives you some idea of the value here. Now, I want to speak about the value, and then I'll go into the women's formula, but I think it's a good time to speak about the value. Q Essentials as a whole is an incredible value. It really is. Q Vitals alone, you would need 10 bottles of supplements to get all the ingredients in Q Vitals. And if you add up all the cost for that, it would be probably the price for the whole Q Essentials pack, which is around $140, just for that one portion. And even if you went out and bought all those supplements, it would be almost impossible to get the right dosage combinations without having the experience that I've had in over the years in finding out how these herbs and amino acids work together. Now, Selexium alone is $40 for a month's supply. So you do the math. You basically, after you pay for the Q96, when you have 4 a day for a month in Q Essentials, and you pay for Q10 Plus and Q Biotic, the Q Vitals are basically free, and that's pretty amazing, because I know you're going to really love these once you get them. Now, to go over the differences in the women's formula also contains the Selexium and the Suma, just as the men's formula do, because women will very much benefit in the same way that men do from these wonderful herbs. I've also included holy basil for the women, and holy basil, some of you may know, really reduces cortisol. It has a lot of benefits in the body, and that's why it's holy. I've also included lemon balm leaf extract, Melissa, which is something that is a nice hormone balancer for women. It works really well with the other ingredients to, reduce menopause symptoms, reduce PMS, and any menstrual symptoms. So that's important, and really helps smooth out the hormone cycle for women. Now, I can tell you that, I can talk all day, but you really need to get these caffeine-free Q Vitals and give them a try, because you will be astounded. And I think, James, you've got your own story. I haven't heard this story yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kimberley, for sharing with us tonight. And I actually do. I've been taking the, I don't want to say old Q Essentials, but I've been taking the ones with caffeine, and I felt a great difference. And I've been taking those every day. I don't want to miss a day. And I thought, well, I wonder what the difference is going to be for me by trying the caffeine-free Q Essentials. And I actually took it yesterday, and it was amazing, the difference that I felt. I actually felt a higher energy level with the new ones than I did with the other ones utilizing caffeine. And so I was impressed. My hat's off with this incredible formulation that you put together. And I can't wait for everybody else to try the new formulation, the caffeine-free formulation, because I think they, too, will see the difference. Now, I do have a couple questions if we can. I know we're going to wrap up the call here, but Dr. Kimberley, do you mind if I ask you just a couple questions to further along some of the this information on the caffeine-free Q Essentials?
You bet.
If I still have the old, the caffeine, and I get a box of the caffeine-free, can I take those like every other day back and forth, or do you recommend me finishing up the one and then going to the other one, or what is your recommendation between the two?
Well, there are two ways you could do that. You could either do the every other day, because, you know, the caffeine formula, too, is fantastic. So you could either do that, or if you wanted to get fancy, you could take two of the packs and mix and match so that you had one capsule or two capsules with caffeine and one or two of the non-caffeine every day. And that would be a way of kind of weaning on to the other.
That's a great option. That's great. Now, what about also now? Is it if someone tries the caffeine free? Is that designed for? I'm just trying to think if there's some people that might still prefer the one with the caffeine in it versus the one going to the caffeine free. Would you recommend? Again, I'm sort of just coming up with this question because I know I'll get asked it. You know, which one is best for me? Do I stay with this one, or do I try the new one? Or if the old one with the caffeine is really working well for me and I'm really happy with it, should I go and pay the extra amount that the caffeine free is to go to the caffeine free? How would you answer that question?
Well, you know, caffeine has a lot of benefits in the body, but I know that some people don't tolerate it. Some people have, you know, religious objections or other objections to caffeine. So I really think that those who can tolerate it and have no objections can do very well on the caffeine formula, especially those who kind of resonate with that formula. And but for those people, I would suggest this, that you go ahead and sign up and get a month's supply of the caffeine-free, and then do your own research. You know, take one for a couple of days and take the other for a couple of days, and decide which really works best for you.
Okay. And we appreciate you answering that question because, again, that's one question that we're going to get. And the last question I have for you, because I know I've asked you this one on the caffeine package, so I'm going to ask you the same question now with the caffeine-free question. You've talked a little bit about it on the women's. Is this a product, Q Essentials caffeine-free? Would this be good for preteens, maybe premenstrual, and then you have you know the women, and then when you get to older and they're going through the menopause, things like that, is it good for all? Is it good for just, you know, where would you draw the line if someone was to ask you that question? Sort of, is it good for all ages, or what do you recommend?
It's a potent formula, but it's very well tolerated, and I think that I think we start with teenagers. So once they hit 13, I think that you've got the green light. Under 13, I think it'd be better to stick with the Q96, Q-biotics, the sprays, etc. The aminos, even the meal replacement, the Q equivalent, and hold off until they reach 13 or so before starting the full Q Essentials program.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. Kimberley, once again, we appreciate your time that you shared with us tonight, and every time we have a chance and opportunity to have you come on these calls, we become better educated and more knowledgeable about the products that we truly have at our fingertips when it comes to the products that are at Q Sciences. So thank you again for sharing with us tonight, and just thank you for sharing us what's inside the ingredients, how it came about, and why it is the best that's out there on the market. And again, we just appreciate all that you've done to make this come to the forefront as we released it this week. So thanks again, Dr. Kimberley.
You're very welcome, James. I'm really excited about getting my supply.
We'll make sure we get some out to you. So this is a great product. I'm excited to have it myself, and I've started taking it, and I just love it. So everyone, have a great night. We look forward to hearing your own personal stories as you try the new Q Essentials caffeine-free. So guys, have a great night. Thanks again for joining us on this product call, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.